having this vision. I've been having this vision. Either rise or you fall. I'm on a mission, bringing my dreams to fruition. I ain't playing at all. Bring out the body bags. I'm about to kill them, deliver them to the mortician. I gotta do what I gotta do. That's for my face, back in my face. I gotta do what I gotta do. I pray to God, He never came. I'ma do me, I'ma do me. That's in my blood, I never change. That's in my blood, I never change. That's in my blood, I never change.
The first heat. The first heat jitters of not just the first heat of an event, but first heat since he was back at Pipeline and did a great job. Here comes Toledo off the bottom. Big power hack off the lip, speeding down the line. Nice float again. One of the fastest surfers in the world, covering some serious ground. Throw tail, reverse, Toledo on the sand. Rabbit, I'm thinking the only reason he didn't pull that last maneuver off is he ran out of water. He was on the beach itself. And he was just saying how much he missed that competition. So he's been ready for this for a very long time, Bucks.
Oh, yeah, well, he would have been doing a lot of work in between. He's super determined, you know, to break into that. Really the big three. He's in the big five, but in the big three, you know, obviously. Yeah, so look, that was officially incomplete, that last maneuver, but yeah, as you said, he ran out of water. You really couldn't blame him, but it was still going to be still a good score for sure.
So impressed, just in between turns, how much speed he can accomplish on that Sharp Eye surfboard from foam climbs and the amount of variety. It's not like he's sticking to one turn to get the score. He is giving us so much on that 1 foot wave.
He really did. I mean, that just showed the potential out there. You don't have to get
for John was working closely with Ross Williams on identifying the perfect equipment for this series of events. How's that opening maneuver from the multiple world champion, driving through to the inside, gets the finish, but that was an explosive first turn. He's not done with this one just yet, milking it right through to the inside. We heard Rabbit Bartholomew in the booth earlier saying, welcome back. Nice morning here at Merriweather for the Rip Curl Newcastle Cup, presented by Corona. John Florence, the two-time world champion, chasing a third in 2021. Is on fire out here at the moment. Kicked off this heat with a 6.6.
John's picked up those waves where he has been able to connect multiple turns. That one, a beautiful little slice off the lip, and then gets the little spinner, and then comes all the way through to the inside, tags it again, and then the wrap on the inside. So you can see John's getting 3-4 turns a wave. Look, I think it's going to be right on it. It's going to be close as we see Freddie up and riding, Ron.
Well, Fred had the advantage of already 2 decent numbers. He was able to sit out the back, wait for priority, with his priority to find this ride, and he's hammered this one. And this should go into his top 2, trying to get rid of a 5.33 to strengthen that lead. And
on his previous waves, and it was more down the line, so up and over that foam section. And look at this, just tags it here, and then this is the grindy turn where he just slams it, really critical, gets the fins out, and then he knew right here he had to finish this wave, and perfect little icing on the cake.
Just he showed great patience with that.
Back here to compete. Here comes Medina, 10 seconds, trying to put this thing away. He's got the speed in the ramp. Tail high reverse complete. Right at the buzzer. Medina not only protecting second, but trying to rip first off a...
See what the score is.
What made this so cool, Morgan?
He just got the so tail high, and there's a pretty small section, and he got like over 1.5 meters in the air, I reckon. He got pretty big.
So much speed, saw the ramp. There's that big coil up. And scores were locked.
A similar approach to Italo, just these big rotations and just punting it. And here he goes again, like he's gonna do this all day.
Big alley-oop rotation for Italo, and he is underwater on the landing. But you have to make sure your landing has a little bit of a soft landing. Italo Frontside punt, clean off the lip. I felt like he landed that in a good spot to grease the landing. And has that extra tweak motion above the lip, which is so cool to watch how much control he has. He's not just safetying it once he gets the lift off. He can tweak it out, show the judges he's in total control.
Yeah, it's a nice tweak, and the landing is just solid.
Such a solid, fun maneuver to watch from the reigning world champ, 6.5.
We're going to start seeing soon. Mind-blowing stuff. Oh, it's still just timeless, his approach, and still one of my favourites to watch. As we see Adrian Buchan, good size wall here for Bucko. This is just what he needed. Only needs a 1.73. There's that perfect timing that we were talking about earlier on. And you can see that he still has that determination.
In the last sort of 10 to 15 minutes, but watch this first turn, just a little wiggle off the bottom and then slams it off the top, drives around into the foamy section again and then pounds that last turn. I love the body language here with Ace. You know, you could see even with the flick off, and here's a closer look at this first turn. So about 11:30 on that one, so almost 12 o'clock, but just ropes it around, composes, has the flow in between that first turn and the second turn. Drives out of that one, just a little adjustment, and then straight into the third turn. So in terms of connecting those three turns, there was really no issues there, no glitches, and it was high impact from start to finish.
The perfect kind of way for Adrian Buchan too. Being on the championship tour was 2016. His best result was a quarter-final. I remember it well. Surfed his way to the quarters. At Trestles, lost out to.
And as we see a great ride here, this wave really opened up for him. A very, very aggressive turn to start things off. Gets another little check snap and then finishes off cleanly. So could have gone for the air, but it just identified.
That heat was finished in 2020 before everything changed last year, and it was another great final. Julian Wilson, Ryan Callinan finishing in the top two. Wilson taking the big win in his new hometown here in Newcastle, originally from Coolum Beach on the Sunshine Coast. Speaking of Wilson, getting a quick start to kick off his opener in this all-Australian matchup.
Yeah, but those Ryan and Julian were looking so strong. This was because last year's the QS, a warm-up for the CT season. Here we see Julian looks like to be still in top form.
And I love how aggressive he was at the start of this heat, just to get a quick score on the board and throw down some aggressive power moves. How'd you like this big move right here off the whitewater, Rabbit?
Yeah, he just looks so sharp, and the way he comes out of this too, you know, he just regathers himself, brings his board back around on rail again, and then just, you know, and he's been #1 in the world at different times of the year as well. So he's held down the world #1 ranking, as we see Ethan Ewing, and you know, and here this guy here represents the future for sure. I mean, he's Ethan's
with a big opening score, 6.10, still the high mark. Ethan Ewing got into the mix here with his high score to 6.5. Real smooth, nice variety as well for Ewing. Was able to get himself in first as he backed it up with this wave, Rabbit.
Yeah, this second wave was really good too. So he's looking really sharp, and Ethan's just, you know, yes, slick eye.
Hey, I'll come watch you surf. I'll help you work on that small wave game. He made one adjustment to his stance, turned it into a keeper result in Japan to follow. Ryan Callinan breaking the silence, being selective, and now putting his first score on the board, and the crowd is letting him hear it.
Yeah, well, that was he was very, very patient, and
he's like, whoa, all these top professionals are here. That's a little different. So
yeah.
He is surfing his favorite wave, but with all the energy that comes with the tour.
Yeah, he really put this one together well, and he tied a little bow on the end of it. That's for sure. So this is going to be a good score. It's a 7.33. Yeah, that's a
Great score for Ryan Callinan, waiting very patiently to find the best wave we've seen so far. Definitely had the most wall, nice stretched out section. And his backhand style is so unique. He's so flexible. It's like a little bit of a balance of the people that come out of this wave. A little bit of Luke Egan in there, a little bit of Craig Anderson. It's so unique.
Yeah, it is a combination. And this wave, it had that body through the middle part of this wave. It maintained. You saw when he did that first maneuver, he nearly had to go over a little double up section. That was a good sign for this wave. Any little double up, you know you're going to get a little bit more power out of it.
Well, great to see things heat up. 7-3.
It's a campaign. It's a whole year long. It's not just an event here and there. You know, you got to hold it together. And as we see Ryan Callinan, he's just in a great priority cycle.
Beautiful backhand work for Ryan Callinan. Searing cut back. There's the end section. Stays on his feet once again. What a heat.
Now, you know, the surfer you're going to pick is going to suit the forecast down the line in a few days' time, as we see Ryan just carving it up on the replay.
Love this backhand arc that he has on repeat. So much power, super clean, lands it. Super tidy finish for the local boy. And there the water angle there. First turn was nice and vertical, and just every maneuver really made sense on that wave.
It did. So, you know, getting back to that point though, because, you know, everyone sort of goes in, they pick their power surfer, right? Then you go, well, okay, he didn't do so good in the first round, but then you look down the line and you go, well, now, hang on, there's a big swell coming. I might stick with this kid. It's
such a good point, Robin. That's great insight. Anyone that makes great predictions in surfing, I always think it's incredible. I think it's one of the hardest things to do is predict champions. First thing you have to think of is, what are the waves like? Who stands out in those conditions? Who's been in form and in good rhythm with their equipment, with surfing heats? Looking at Ryan right now, it looks like he...
Those waves, yeah.
Sally again with some drive. Set up hook there. Quickly off that lip section. She'll try to push it a bit harder in the pocket. Back to a wrapping cutback, and
wow,
a nice little spunky rebound right there from Sal.
She's definitely had the best waves in this heat, and I think that's the difference.
Looks like we're going to have those familiar names take those first couple wins. Sally Fitzgibbons in the first. Let's hold that thought, because this wave will count. But it is Tyler just putting it to bed with priority. Keeley has to kick out. Next wave a little too late for Lakey.
Wow.
And world number one, two-time world champ Tyler seals the deal. Enjoyed her birthday yesterday, and she'll fly into the next round with a stranglehold on that lead from start to finish. We'll see if those familiar...
It was an incredible performance, and as you said, a little insight into the backstory, that everything that goes into that moment where she was out in the water. We see Carissa again just streaking down the line here and picking off another good wave and finishing strong again, just belting it time and time again. But back to the interview with Tyler, you know, she's talking
what she's capable of.
Yeah, I really love the energy and flow that she's brought to this heat. But then you look at the multiple world champion here, and just power to boot, just grinding through all these turns. So much energy, so much enthusiasm, staying really light-footed. And watch this, bang, just sending spray everywhere.
It reminds me a little bit of Gabriel Medina watching Carissa here. I mean, you're damned if you sit out the back and hold priority and wait for the two best waves. If you give her room on the inside that covers the rocks there, you get a little bit of a slippery foot. Maybe there's something going down on the beach down there, but Steph Gilmore, she's not having any trouble staying planted. And look at that first turn, plenty of spray being unloaded as she again digs in. And she's connected with a nice piece of equipment for today's conditions.
And secure that second place. And again, Ron, Steph up and riding, showing just her brilliance.
Just impeccable timing on this one. You know, there was some little sections to lay into, and she got the board right.
Incredible matchups right out of the gates. Here comes Caroline Marks. Off the bottom, clean snap there on the pocket. Always filling in the flat parts very well. Seamless in her transition. There's the lip line, and Caroline gets on out of there for a nice clean finish. Exactly what we were expecting to see.
You know, I'm fortunate to have Brisa Hennessy on my a part of the Microsurf Academy, and an incredible competitor. So Glenn obviously watches a lot of the women's heats, and he generally fills me in if there's something I need to specifically watch.
It's cool to see a young surfer like Caroline Marks make such a big impact on the tour. Already 2 big wins, and had the experience of starting the tour world #1 when she dominated D-Bot. We started giving her credit with maybe the best backhand on tour very early. What do you feel about her approach, especially when she's got a brilliant backhand attack? Where do you rate it?
You know, Caroline is so young. I'm always careful. I think, you know, even being out here and being in COVID times, I could imagine it's super stressful as well. Like, it's stressful for everyone.